Hi guys, my name's Ben Guilford. I am the owner of the Fire Brick Company, and in this video I want to take you through some of the tools and accessories that we recommend you think about having for using your wood-fired oven. So once your oven's built and you start doing your first firings, you'll realize very quickly, I need some tools to help me with this process. The ovens are quite deep, and so while, hey, you could put some gloves on and maybe reach into the oven to do some things, you're really going to want to think about having some long-handled tools to help you with fire maintenance, with cooking, and with cleaning the oven. And so that is where I'm very excited to introduce Grand Ridge Forge. Grand Ridge Forge is owned by Dennis, who is a wonderful man that I have known since grade 5. Would you believe? Still friends all these years later, despite my terrible personality. And so Dennis is actually standing behind, and it's just exciting to be doing this. It genuinely is. Really pumped to see what he has created here. These tools are absolutely beautiful. They are top quality tools. You will really struggle to find anything better than these out there. So I want to take you through those today. I'm also going to take you through a couple of other accessories that you might find useful, but let's start with these oven tools. So this set of 4 tools is what we offer. So it's a set of 4, and these are the tools that you're going to use most often. The first one is the peel. Stainless steel head up here, beautiful. All the tools have this beautiful timber handles, and they're made from a material called Quilla, which is exactly the same material we use for our oven doors. It's actually one of the hardest woods to burn. It really doesn't burn very well at all. So when you're using it in the oven, it's not going to just burst into flames on you the second you put it into the oven, because it's such a dense wood. It just doesn't burn very readily. So, which makes it perfect for making oven tools, and it's also the same reason we use it for our oven doors. Now, as good as Quilla is at resisting burning, if you leave it in the oven long enough, it will eventually burn. You'll see it'll start to singe, and then, hey, if you left the tool in there, it's going to burn. And so when you're using the tools, particularly the scoop, which I'll come to in a minute, you'll find you'll be tending the fire with that a lot. Just try not to leave the tool in there for more than, say, 30 seconds at a time, so that you're not allowing it to singe and burn. You'll see the peel here. So this tool here is fantastic for getting pizzas out of the oven and for turning pizzas on the oven floor. You can actually also use it to put pizzas into the oven. They're handmade by Dennis in his Gippsland workshop, which is a beautiful place that smells good. It's got a rich timber smell when you go in there. But one of the things that Dennis wanted me to point out about these is Dennis has got an incredibly fine eye for detail, and he always has in all the years that I've known him, which is why I'm so happy to be selling his tools. It's just it's cool. But the other thing is Dennis is very practical, and he doesn't like waste. And neither do I. And so you'll see that the head of the tool is beautiful brushed stainless steel, and it's going to look flawless. When you get it, it'll be just gorgeous. The back of the tool is not brushed, and you may find that it might have some scratches on the back of the tool. The reason for that is quite simple. Laser cut stainless steel has a film on one side and not on the other. So when it's laser cut, it often gets markings on the back face, whereas the film face will be immaculate. Now, Dennis could spend hours sanding out, polishing out every single one of these scratches for you. However, that would add pretty significantly to the cost of the tool. And guess what? The second you use it, you're going to scratch it. You're going to take this tool and you're going to rub it on a brick surface. And guess what? Brick scratches stainless steel. So you're going to get scratches on it straight away. So that's why when you receive your tool, you will find that there are some light scratches on the back. But remember, That is not the face that you're going to be looking at most of the time. And Dan is making these tools to the very best of his ability, but also able to sell them at an affordable price. All right, so the other thing that I want to point out about the tools is every part of them is designed to be weatherproof. So the timber handles actually handle the weather incredibly well, particularly if you oil them every 6 months or so. The head is stainless steel, the screws are stainless steel, the logo is made of brass. Every part of this tool is designed to be weatherproof. So you don't have to worry about leaving them outdoors or think that they might corrode or rust. They're just not going to. Okay, so these are made to be used. They are a tool. They're not as pretty as they are, and they're really pretty. They're not designed to just hang up on your wall for display. They are designed to be used as tools. So please don't be shy with them. Dennis has designed these to be used in high temperatures, so you can really go to town on them and you'll find they'll handle that just fine. Another thing you'll find with these tools is they have this lovely stainless steel ring at the top of the tool for hanging the tool up to have it on display. And a little bird behind the camera named Dennis is quietly mentioning that we will have hooks available for sale. So it's something he's been working on for a while, is some stainless steel hooks that you can mount on your wall to hang up these beautiful tools and have them on display. Another thing that I absolutely love about these tools is how strong they are. So the way that they're actually made is this connection here is a pressed connection where it's wrapped around this timber handle, so it's a really snug fit with the timber, so I don't have any waggle in here, or wiggle as I love to say. It's a really well made, heavy duty tool, which again is why we're really happy to be recommending them to you. So the next tool I'm going to talk about is the one that I use the most often. It's called the scoop, and that's this one here, and this is a fantastic tool for tending the fire. So if you watch our fire and forget video that you may have already seen, you'll see this in action. This is just a great tool for flipping logs up into place, but also for moving coals around on the floor. That's why it has this shape, is so that you can grab your bed of coals and move them across the floor of the oven from the right hand side to the left or vice versa. You can use this to tend your fire. So this is actually very cleverly made. It actually has a stiffening ridge pressed into the back of the tool to give it more rigidity. And again, it has that fantastic design of being pressed around into the shape to take this timber handle. So this is actually probably the tool that you will use the most in terms of time. You will have this in your hands a lot. Very, very useful tool to have in your arsenal. All right, the next tool is the brush. And this again has a beautiful timber handle, stainless steel head, and it's got a natural bristle brush attached to the end just by 2 Phillips head screws, stainless steel screws here. The beauty of this is you can replace this brush head. I'm going to go into why you may need to do that, but you can also rotate it around. I've got it set up so that I can sweep this way, and that's, for me, that's personally how I like to use the brush. But Grand Ridge Forge have actually also drilled another couple of holes here for you so that you can rotate the brush around to sweep left to right if that is better for your purposes. Now, why have a brush? Like, what do I need a brush for? It looks like it's going to catch fire, right? When you're cooking in the wood-fired oven, you fire it up, and you can see behind us the oven's, we've got a firing going on at the moment, it's heating up. Once it's fully up to temperature, that fire that we can see there is going to burn down to coals, and they're going to be all over the floor of the oven. The oven's going to be a bit of a mess. The first thing we're going to do is take our coal scoop and move all the coals off the floor where we want to cook. So we want to do some pizza. I want to cook right on the brick, right? I'm not saying pans are bad. You can use pans. I like cooking my pizzas straight on the floor of the oven because I get this lovely crispy base when I do that. So to do that, I don't particularly want to throw my lovely fresh pizza onto a whole bunch of dust, a bunch of ash, because once I've moved the coals out of the way with the coal scoop, the floor is going to be covered with dust and ash. How do we get rid of that? That is where the brush comes in. So what I like to do with this is I like to just put a little bit of water on the brush just to dampen it just slightly, not sopping wet, just lightly damp. And then I'm going to sweep all of that ash out of the way so that I can cook on a nice clean surface. Now, again, you're probably thinking, okay, well, the floor of the oven gets pretty hot. Like, aren't we going to sort of singe these bristles? Wouldn't it be smarter maybe to use metal bristles like brass or copper? Definitely don't recommend that you use any kind of metal bristle brush in the oven. And I know there's some differing opinions out there on this, and I'll leave it all to those fine folks on the interwebs to hash it out. But my take on it is this: metal bristle brushes will have the tendency of bristles breaking off. So the bristles don't really wear, they're metal, they last a very, very long time, but metal fatigue, as the bristles bend to and fro as you sweep the floor, will eventually mean that you will get metal bristles breaking off, and then you may not notice them because they're very small and they sit on the floor of the oven. You throw in a pizza, it gets baked into the bottom of the pizza, and the next thing you know, someone has a metal bristle stuck in their tongue or in their throat or something like that, which is just bad. All right, so we don't recommend metal bristles for that reason. Now, that is part of the design of this tool, is that this is replaceable. We have replacement brush heads available. They're not particularly expensive, so you may want to order a couple of those when you buy your oven tool set. You order a couple of extra brushes, and then if it wears down, so over time it'll slowly singe, and eventually you'll want to replace it. And hey, just undo the screws and put the new head on, and away you go. So this is a fantastic tool for cleaning the floor. Certainly not the only way to do it. I've seen people take their pizza peel and wrap the head of the peel with a wet tea towel and use that to mop the floor. That works really well too. It's not the way I like to do it because the tea towel comes out looking bad, and my wife isn't super happy about cleaning those tea towels. So I like to use the brush. It works. It's the right tool for the job. Right, the last tool in the set is the claw. And this is a fantastic tool for, you can use it for a whole bunch of things. You can actually do some similar stuff with this that you do with the scoop. So you can use this as a fire tending tool, where I can use it to flick logs up into place. It's very strong, it's like very, very rigid. The scoop has a bit more give in it. So if you're trying to move a big heavy log around, or even to push in your fire when you're setting up a fort fire, you might actually want to use this tool because it's very, very strong. So yeah, we can use it to flip logs up, things like that. But also we can use this to help us with cooking. So if you've got a tray in the oven, or maybe 3 trays, and you need to get something out or turn it, then you will actually find it's quite difficult to do that with the peel. You can slide the tray in very easily, you just push that into the oven. But once it's in there, it's very hot, and you might not want to reach in there with your arm. I would lose all the hair on my arms right now if I tried that. You might just want to turn the tray on the spot. That's where having a tool like the claw allows you to just reach in, rotate that tray around, or if you want to get it out, you can just reach in and pull it out. And it's going to work the same for big pots and other pans, for whatever dishes you have in the oven. This is a really good tool for just being able to reach in there and get at them and get them back out. Think of the claw as an extension of your arm. It gives you the ability to just reach into the oven, get at those trays and those big heavy pots, and pull them back out to you nice and easily. One of the things that I love the most about these tools is how well they complement our ovens. They are just perfect, from the stainless steel through to the beautiful oiled timber handles. They just look right next to our ovens. They're just perfect. So we're really grateful to have Grand Ridge Forge there and Dennis there to supply these to us and to you guys. So that is the Grand Ridge tool set. Now, I'm going to sneakily put pressure on Dennis, who's standing behind the camera. And so I know that he is working on some other tools that we're going to see in the future. So things like a shovel to get our hot coals out of the oven, and you know, pizza cutter and things like that. So keep an eye out on our website for those. But I just really want to thank Dennis for making these and allowing us to provide them to our customers, because we want to bless you guys with the best possible quality with everything that we do. So we've worked really hard to make you a beautiful wood-fired oven kit that hopefully you're really enjoying. And we want to make sure that we can provide you with some accessories of equal quality. So I hope you like them. You can find them on our online store. They're available to purchase. And the pricing, we are trying to keep that pricing quite reasonable. Another accessory that you are going to find really useful to have in your oven is a Tuscan grill. Now this is something that we make here. We're really proud of these. They're made with 316 grade stainless steel, and they're beautiful, but they're also incredibly rugged. These are designed to take an absolute beating. So you might look at this and go, oh Ben, that's very pretty, it's very shiny, I'm sure it's very nice, but what exactly am I going to do with this? You're going to cook lots of pizza in your oven and it's going to be delicious. But once you've nailed down pizza, you're going to want to start thinking about what else can I cook in the oven? And you'll notice we work really hard on calling it a wood-fired oven rather than a pizza oven, because hashtag not just a pizza oven. You can do all kinds of cooking in your wood-fired oven. And one of the things that you can do is grilling, right? So you can fire up your oven. As you see behind us, this thing is absolutely roaring. And I could rake the coals forward towards the opening and throw in my grill and cook meat and other things over hot coals. But another thing that you can do with it is use it to put a pan on. So you could take your pan and put that directly on the floor of the oven, but that might not be as hot as you want that pan to be. Whereas if you rake coals forward, put the Tuscan grill on, and put your pan on top of that, now you're cooking at some very high temperatures. So it's just another tool that you can use in your oven to, I guess, expand the possibilities of what you can do in there. Now, there's other fantastic accessories out there as well. So if you watch our video on how to use your oven as a smoker, there are a couple of accessories shown in that video that I go into a lot more detail on those that are well worth looking at if you're thinking about, you know, maybe doing some low and slow USA style smoking in your oven. Check out that video and the accessories that we mentioned in there. But in terms of the best place to start, having a great set of oven tools and having yourself a Tuscan grill like this is going to allow you to do a whole heap of fantastic dishes that you and your family are really going to enjoy. So guys, that's just an introduction to a few of the tools and accessories that you might want to think about having for your oven. There's lots and lots of stuff out there on the market, so by all means, look around and see what else is out there. We are trying to focus very heavily on high quality Australian-made products wherever we can, but there are some fantastic gadgets out there, like the Fireboard, which you'll see in our smoking video, so check that out. Made in America, we'll allow that. They're pretty awesome. Guys, we hope that you've enjoyed this video. Again, if you have any questions about our accessories or the oven tools, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and we'll be really happy to help you.